I carry water with me, but...
So Steve got an email this morning saying that the Synergy Busan, whatever the boat is that we've booked for, is now not going to Seattle.
Long Beach. I was wrong with the sailing date of the contract.
Oh, it's another one.
Yep.
I haven't read the email.
Freight. So
$3,000, that's all right.
US.
This is all
Yeah, it's
US
all
we're
USD,
talking. That's for the whole
So
container.
that's around about
Yeah,
4.8.
Yeah.
We're pretty right.
That's US dollars. Now multiply that by 0.36.
Yeah,
But we just want to discuss a few points with you. If you can give us a call back as soon as you can.
overnight and then send it back the next day, because there's two charges there for one taking it to the depot, then one away from the depot. If they did it all at the same day, it wouldn't be that cost, would it?
No, I thought there was only one cost.
Oh, well, that's
I'd really like to clarify if they're packing the bikes, can we watch the bikes being packed? I mean, if we can't pack them, I understand that, but because there's some parts of the bike that need to be strapped down a certain way.
Yeah, I can ask that question.
Thank you.
Not be getting in because we delayed things thinking it was going to be later. So we've gone.
So like there shouldn't be any more costs.
That's about it, is it?
The shipping side and the packing side.
Yeah, in the US.
Yeah. Well, they put it down. They said it's up to that whoever it is, that minister or somebody on the other side,
Yeah.
to agree that you got that bond free.
Well, our EPAs came through this morning.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
It's not a form that you can email us as a PDF.
I've never seen it before. But just
Oh, g'day, mate. I just got to talk to somebody. Well, who would I talk to?
Oh, that's something my colleague would know, so I'll transfer over your call.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, leave it with me, Chris. I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
Okay, mate, thank you. The bikes are being prepared for the container, taking off all the dirt, all the fur and all the knickknacks. So we're draining the fuel tanks to so they've got about a litre left in them. That's apparently the rules. And this is what's this called, Don, this hose?
It's a siphon.
Siphon hose.
Okay.
Come back.
Okay. Down here is the brake line.
The brake line?
Yep. You've got to be really careful of that
Yep.
brake line. So
Yep.
stay there. This will go underneath the brake line around this triple tree.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what they strap down to here.
Okay. Right, fur around that part. Yep, both sides.
Yep.
This is another point.
You lift these
Yep.
up,
Yep.
come around underneath this point.
Yep. That would give it a bit more security, so that's safe there. Right, there's a bar under there. This is like for another tie down at the back,
Yep,
which we
that's-
should.
That's well, if they're going to tie the back, not to tie here.
Yep.
Nowhere but here, underneath this point
Yep. Good.
and away from the guard.
Calamity, it goes around
Okay.
that bit there.
Further, to be careful
Yeah, right.
of the brake hose.
Yep.
Okay. But they can go,
Up and around into that middle bit there.
yeah, into there. Don't go here.
No.
All right.
Not on the
No.
engine cage. There.
Yep.
So that, yep, okay.
Yep.
Yep. All that, and they may do both, mightn't they?
Well, I prefer they do both.
Hi everybody, and you're seeing this video because you are a tank topper. So only this link goes to you guys, and it's private and unlisted, and so you've pressed on the link and you're here. So thank you once again for your support. It's been amazing. So it's going to help out so much because the American dollar is just so shit against the Australian dollar. Everything's expensive, which is what this video is about. I'm getting a lot of questions, people asking me, how much is it to ship your bike? What's the process? What are you up to? So I've put together little bits and pieces when we've had meetings. On Monday, today is Thursday, Monday, we put the bikes on the 20-foot container. Damien's actually in Germany, so we've enlisted the help of Jock McKillop to take Damien's bike to the container, and I'll take mine obviously, and Steve Melquire and his trailer will meet us there. We are not allowed to pack the container ourselves, which sort of worried us a little bit because we want to make sure that they're strapped down correctly and protected, especially Damien's limited edition Challenger. which is brand new. So we want to make sure that's... Anyway, we've talked to them. I'm not allowed to film that, but they will film it for me. So before I get into all of that, I wanted to go through some of the things what's involved with shipping. So I have these 2 folders here full of the paperwork. This is mine and that's Damien's. And in there is a number of things. First I want to tell you the cost. We still haven't got the exact amount, but all up it comes to roughly $10,000 for the 20-foot container that has 3 bikes and a trailer in it. Now that, of course, then gets divided by 4. Now a lot of people say, oh, why aren't you going to LA? LA is one of the busiest ports in the world, and Steve has had experience where he's shipped a whole container of bikes over there for a big tour of USA, other people's bikes, and they've got to LA, and LA, they're so busy, had to wait 10 days for those bikes to be released. So can you imagine getting to America, thinking you're going to get all your bikes ready to do a tour that was all organised and booked, and stuck in LA for 10 days with no bike, which happened. We went to Vancouver at one stage. That was cancelled. Canada's a little bit different. The boat that we originally booked for last week decided, no, we're not going to Seattle. So we found another boat that is, but that brought the packing forward a week, which was a bit challenging for us because Damien wasn't here to help, but we have no choice. We have to pack it Monday. So these are all the things that come into play. Last minute changes. We watch the ships. They're a week late getting there. They're 2 days. You know, is it going to impact when they come to Sydney? They're going to be late getting into port in America. So consequently, I haven't booked any flights yet because I won't book until I know those bikes are on the water. I don't want to be getting to Seattle and the bikes haven't left Sydney and sitting around there for a week or more. So you really need to allow a good 6 weeks. It takes really 4 to 5, but give yourself some room and flexibility. Now, I have really some time to adjust our plans if the bike's late, but not too much because there's a whole bunch of good riding that I had in there. I just want to go through some of the paperwork that you have to do. You find a good freight company. We reached out to a number of freight companies, got varying quotes. Steve has done this 4 or 5 times before, but since COVID, the rules have changed, things have changed. One of the difficulties we had was finding a company in America that would take the container off the boat or off the dock because it was personal effects. They all of a sudden had a problem with taking containers with personal effects. And anyway, dealing with America also varies. There's a set of rules, but they perceive them sometimes to be different, and we've had to argue the point that we're coming in under what America calls as an EPA agreement, and so if you're taking a bike to America for anything under 12 months and you're not selling it, it's for personal use, it's registered, it meets all the emissions protocol. I mean, they're American bikes with being Harley Davidson and Indian, so they are American made bikes, so we knew that wouldn't be an issue. But we've had to show VIN numbers, chassis numbers, registration papers, insurances and things like that. Just to show you what the EPA needs to be a letter, and you have to say certain words like, I consent to EPA collecting and storing my name, mailing address, email address and phone number. You got to say when the bike leaves, your name obviously, your US address. We said we're travelling, but we have one main address. I have one in Rapid City for 10 days, so we've used that as a base. Thanks Paula and Bobby for that. The make and model, and I attach all my Australian registration papers, which I have done there. So it's just my reg paper. We just have 2 packs for each, and insurance papers. The next thing you need to get is marine insurance. So that's the insurance that protects the bike while it's on the container and on the water. Now, God forbid, if the container falls off into the sea, and it does happen, we've insured the bikes, we've insured Damien's and our personal effects that are going with it. We're packing our leather coats, our riding boots, riding gear, not our helmets. You itemise everything that's on the bike. So that marine insurance, we registered them together to a value of about $110,000 with Damien's bike and mine, and that cost $600. All up, so $300 each. So we found a broker and Midas company do all that. So $632 for the marine insurance. That covers the bike while it's on the water. Should anything happen, if it falls off into the ocean, we've got insurance to cover the replacement of the bike. Obviously, everyone knows this, but you need to get an Insta, which is like a visa for America, whether you're shipping bikes or not, or just flying. So make sure you've got your Insta paperwork. That's about $21. That's your Insta. You have a list of all your contents, which is companies that need to know what's in the container. You need to have a booking confirmation sheet that your freight forwarding company will give you, and you need that to get the insurance. Now that's just for the shipping, okay? Once the bikes are in America, we need to then get another type of insurance, just like we would in Australia for being insured to be on the bikes to be on the road. Now that you have to buy a 12 months insurance policy, which is around $3,000 Australian dollars, about 2,000 American. The 3-month component of that turns out to be at $800. So, but we have to pay up front the 3,000 American dollars for the year, and then when we come back, we apply for the refund for the months that we're not using it. You've got to think of that. So that registers the bikes on the road. So if anything happens to the bikes, or we run over somebody or whatever, that's all covered. Then the other insurance you have to get is your personal medical insurance, which you would do if you were travelling overseas anyway. So that works out for a couple, it's about $1,800. So it's about $800 each for that, which covers hospital stay up to, I think, $1 million in medical expenses, ambulance, all the typical stuff that you know that you have to do when you're travelling anyway. A quick little rundown on what you have to go through. I've obviously done a whole 3-month plan, which you can see on my website. I've collected tips from people, you know, the Maggie Valley rides, there's obviously the Tail of the Dragon, there's the Moonshine ride. I'm getting so much great information from my American mates, thank you, and lots of tips. So the plan is always adjusting a little bit, but the basis of it is there now. If you're interested in getting hitches or trailers for anything, check out Elite Products, and I'll put the link there for you to go and see what Steve gets up to. So all this paperwork, including pictures of passports, of licenses, etc. One of these is going to go on the bikes with our contents and everything. And then I'll have another set for us to travel with. It's been an interesting process watching how the American authorities have interpreted their own rules. We had one gentleman that was insisting that we had to pay some sort of duty tax on our bikes, and we explained to him, I said, you know, you have it in here that if it's under 12 months, it changes from 90 days to 12 months even, but we're under 90 days. So we had to actually point out to him on the form where it says we're under this category, but it took a little bit of convincing. It's worth doing that, because to hire a bike in America at $200, $250 a day for 3 months is like $20,000. So you wouldn't go down hiring a bike. What some people do, if they don't want to ship their bike, they will go and buy a bike in America and sell it before they come home. Or if they've got mates, they'll put it in storage with a mate, and then if they're regular trippers to America, get over there and pick up their bike and off they go. That would probably... Jock's just arrived. I'm going up. Okay, we're 19 k's away, waiting for Jock to come up. Here he comes. Gates, and away we go. Okay, we're only 10 k's away. Okay, take 2. What a shithole. Fuck, I hate the city. Hello, Rodney. We found it. You don't make it easy though. One that's going to pack the container? No.
The boys will do it.
The boys will do it? Are the boys here?
Yeah, but I'll be doing it with them.
Oh, good-o. This
I'm going to fit in one 20-foot container.
2 bikes.
And a trailer and another bike, isn't it?
Yeah, there is, but that's all been cleared. They've all...
Won't fit.
Okay. Well, is the container here, or does that come later? We've given them...
Container out there.
Yep. I thought they talked about a way of
Yeah, but you got to be able to hold them up too.
Yeah.
So they'll go in, but how they get there at the other side, you ever seen what happens to them at sea?
No. So you're filling me with great confidence, Rodney.
So it'll probably fit, but I'm worried about securing them so they don't fall over.
Yeah, I'm glad you're worried about that. Because my partner loves this bike almost more than he loves me. I think he'd rather have me on the container for 6 weeks than be apart from that
Where
bike.
are you going? Half weeks roughly at sea.
Yeah, yeah.
With one transshipment in the middle.
What does that mean?
It'll come off probably at Singapore or Malaysia and go onto another vessel, maybe.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to Auckland and then straight up.
So it might. Depends on who he's booked it. What you do when you lash to go on the ocean, how much does that bike weigh?
400 kilos.
So you lash 4 times what that bike weighs.
Be good
At
if
least.
people told us this stuff. They'll fit. Steve's done this stacks of times before.
Chocks on either side of the tyre to stop the tyres moving
Yeah,
sideways.
we can nail the chock.
Because the problem is we're going to have one lashing that way and one lashing that way, so it's sort of going to be a bit unbalanced. But if we screw a couple of chocks either side of the wheel,
Now Steve's trailer is just a motorbike little trailer. It's not a big one. So hopefully when you see that, yeah. I thought Steve explained that his trailer could go along this way. You know, it could go in.
Done it before.
I know you have. I said that, but the guy said
first thing he said,
they're not all going to fit.
They do. You've got a container like that. They go in across that way. 1, 2, 3. Each one takes about 5 feet.
Yeah.
That's 15 foot. That's 3 bikes, and you've got 5 foot back, but then you've got the gap there to put the trailer up. It all works.
I think
I've done this before with 3 bikes in the trailer, so it will fit.
They said a full-size bike trailer.
No, it's not a bike
I
trailer.
don't know,
it's
mate.
a camper trailer.
motorbike trailer for
Camper
behind the
trailer. It's a
motorbike.
metre wide.
Yeah, so that'll go down beside the other bike.
Yeah.
Rodney, listen to me. I need to pay for Damien's to be strapped properly. I don't care about mine.
They're the straps at Harley Davidson.
And so what do I mean, obviously we leave our keys with them, or the fobs and the security, they stay with them.
If there's alarms on them, disconnect them.
Well, the alarms only go off, the fob's not there, right? So can I show you where I've put them?
I'll have a look at it.
Okay. But if we do use those other straps, we just got to put rags.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sorry, I know I'm getting a bit over the top. So, Rodney, can you tell Damien that his bike is going to be so well looked after?
I'm going to drop it.
No, don't. No, I'll edit that out. No, really, of everything here, I know Steve's special, I'm special, but that is super special. I just want to assure Damien that we're all on top of the fact that his bike will be well looked after.
You're right.
He'll be right.
Thank you.
He does this for a job.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why I get so confused and so anxious, because when we first came up,
Yeah, when the
Rodney
I saw
was
them
just-
and then they said another Harley plus a bike trailer, I'm going, that ain't fitting.
yeah. Okay, we're all good. We're all on the same page. So Damien's has got all his straps ready to go. This episode is dedicated to elite camper trailers. You need from us. We're all happy.
All good.
We're all settled, and you'll take some pictures and send to the people, and I'll get them. And
Yep.
thank you so much for everything, and I'm glad it's worked out.
So I'm on now.
Now we're trying to book flights. We want to go Qantas. We need to go Melbourne, LA, Seattle on the 30th of June. And then we want to return on the 25th of September, LA to Melbourne. The prices and we looked at these a couple of months ago, but we couldn't book because I'm drinking. We didn't book because we weren't sure about the boats. You know, they kept changing their delivery, and I didn't want to be sitting around Seattle for a week. Anyway, we're now back online trying to get flights. They're nearly all booked out. They've gone up $300 to $500. So Qantas are very selective, obviously, on what you can use your points for. So it looks like we've got to pay full freight. And at the moment, the flights return are looking at about $3,500 each. This week, and we're still trying to get a flight out for 2 months away. So there's another issue you have to contend with. a video that the freight company sent me. I was expecting some more pictures, but you can see that at the very least Damien's bike looks nice and snug and well protected. We have now booked our flights. We arrive in Seattle on the 1st of July. And I just finished talking with San Diego Indian dealership, and on the last Saturday of our trip in late September, we're doing a big farewell party at the San Diego Indian dealership where I'll be doing some makeovers and aligning that with some terrific charities that to help the children and homelessness. So that's coming together really well. I'm so excited. So the bikes are now on the water and we will be in America. So just a reminder, there's going to be a bit of a break now before the next episode 2 comes your way, because obviously we're 6 weeks away from landing, and then it's going to start, and you will be getting videos regularly, probably up until Christmas time, because I'll do as many as I can while I'm away, and then on the plane I'll do some more ready to send, and then when I'm back I'll be catching up on all the footage, because it's as you know, every 15 minutes of video takes me about 3 to 4 hours to edit and put together. Now I just hope those bikes are at the other end looking as good as what they were when they left. So until then, see you on episode 2, and take care.